Hi guys, Danny here, and welcome to this mod review of this new mod by Flaxbeard called Cyberware. Now, what is Cyberware? Well, Cyberware allows you to insert robotic parts into yourself, as you can see here, various robot eyes, various robot parts, and turn yourself into a cyborg, like in Deus Ex. So to get started, what you need to do is find some of these guys. Cyber Zombie, they have a small chance of spawning, like a normal zombie. And as you can see here, they look like normal zombies except they have robotic parts. And when you kill these guys, they have a small chance of dropping some of the cyberware they have on them. Where did we get lucky? Yes, we did. So let's have a look. So one of them dropped a ender jammer and one of them dropped a solar skin. So this is perfect. So if you see here in this menu, there's actually a button to get the salvage version or the manufactured version. The salvage version are the ones that the zombies drop. So as you can see here, they have like this rusted look and this kind of broken down look. And then we have the manufactured version, which look awesome and shiny. And these are the ones that you make yourselves, but these are the ones that the zombies drop that you have to use to get these ones. So after you've gotten yourself some of these zombie salvaged parts, you have to make yourself a surgery chamber, very simple crafting recipe, and get yourself a robosurgeon from one of the nether forts. And just put one down, put the robosurgeon on top. Then what you can do is right click on the robosurgeon and allows you to zoom in into various parts and allows you to just plug the various parts in. Obviously I can't put in salvaged solar skin into my eyes because that's the section I went into. However, if I go here, these are where the you can attach the skin upgrades. Let's see, just human skin there. In the middle, I have just human muscles. You can upgrade every single one of these ones, but as you can see, I haven't upgraded all of them, and I'll tell you why. And that is because you have this tolerance meter on the side, and you can only put in enough machine parts, until you hit a certain point. I'll just show you guys what happens actually. Let's see. Let me go into manufactured and I'll put in one of these arms. And as you can see, if I hit shift, you can see the various things that you require to put in the upgrade. It also tells you what the tolerance is and also tells you how much power you need, which I'll explain in a second. So if I go up here, click the arm, click there, I can pop out my human arm and place the robot arm right there. So as you can see, it's gone down much below, and it'll tell me that it has low tolerance. That is to say, I have low tolerance and it'll cause rejection. And what happens when you have rejection is that, well, okay, so you go into the surgery chamber, close the door, beep beep beep, and there you go. So when I came out of the surgery chamber, I have my human arm here. Okay, so I switched into survival, and as you can see, I slowly start losing health. That is because the tolerance is way too low. And when that happens, you should really remove the machine part as soon as possible because you start losing health quite quickly. I think I'm being saved because of one of the machine parts that I have. As you can see, the little heart effects, I'm being slowly healed. But you can also see that is actually draining quite a lot of battery power from me in the top right hand corner. So let me just go back right into creative. So what I'm going to do now is put back my human arm and I'll go back into survival here. So I'm still losing health. There you go. So right click there, beep 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 beep, and there you go. I get back my cyber arm and I have my human part now, so I don't lose any more health. And you might have also noticed that when you actually use the surgery chamber, you actually lose a bit of health. So it really makes sense to go in there with, full health, or otherwise you will die. Now to show you guys exactly how to begin upgrading yourself, I'm gonna kill myself because when you die you lose all of your upgrades. So let me just go high enough, go into survival, and goodbye, and then I die. So as you can see, all of my robot parts fell out. And now I should be completely human. Well, actually they should be destroyed, so I can't pick them back up. But if I click here, you'll notice that I have all of my human parts and my tolerance is back to 100. So let me pick out some of these salvaged parts. They work exactly the same way as the manufactured parts, but you'll notice a small difference, rather a big difference actually, in that the salvaged parts actually have a higher tolerance cost than the manufactured parts. So as you can see here, tolerance 1, tolerance 2, but let's see for some of the bigger ones. So here we go, tolerance 38 and tolerance 25. So it makes sense to get the manufactured ones as soon as possible, but even that will take a little bit of effort. So initially, when you start killing zombies and getting the parts, what you should aim to get at the start is one of these HUD lenses, because they come with a power info, the little thing you could see here, and that tells you how much power you have, because your upgrades, because you're a part machine, because you're a cyborg, they require power to use, and to use the power, you actually use the parts to actually, generate the power. These various options, for example, we got the salvaged solar skin, which actually produces a small amount of energy when in use. And as you can see here, the HUD lenses don't actually have a power cost, but some of these other items would. So for example, here we go. For example, this neural contextualizer requires 1 power when in use. So I could have one of these guys and I'll still generate enough power to have a couple more of these items. So for example, I can't have this threat matrix because I wouldn't have enough power. I could have a cranial broadcaster because that'll still only be 3, and one of these cardiomechanic pumps as well. So as you can see there. However, there is actually a couple of these items, the capacitors, as you can see here, that allow you to actually store the power. So you won't need to actively generate the power that you're using. So for example, let's see, there's various different kinds. This is a creative one. This one you can get for example, this one gives you 60,000 power unit capacity, but it can only be recharged by a charging pad, which you have right there. And a charging pad basically allows you to charge up your machine just by standing on top of it. I have it hooked on to a solar panel because they actually use Teslas as well. So as you can see here, I'm going to get one of these guys, these internal batteries, because they store a very small amount of power, 3,000 power unit capacity, compared to the 60,000 for this one. Actually, I think that'll do for now. So right click there. I can actually also click the index to see everything that I have. So if I had machine parts, they'd be shown here, but now you can just see my human parts. Okay, so what do I have at the very start? Okay, let's see the HUD lenses. So I go up here, the eyes, pop it right there. As you can see, but my tolerance fell lower. Okay. I'm not going to be using the Ender Jammer because that blocks Ender teleportation. Also, it has a very high tolerance, so we'll just put that away for now. Let's actually use one of these guys, the salvaged solar skin, right there. Ooh, that took quite a bit of tolerance, but I would need that. And finally, let's see. It says lower organ slot, so that tells me where to pop the stuff. For example, this is a cranium slot, so it'll be in my head. That's lower organ, and I just put it right there. My tolerance fell again. So I'm just going to pop back into... Okay, now that I have the RoboSurgeon set to perform the surgery on me, I go inside, right click, beep beep beep, beep 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 beep, and there you go. So as you can see, it says hold L to open the cyberware menu. That's just because I have L set up to open the cyberware menu. As you can see here, this is what I opened at the very start. Now, you can see on the right there, I'm slowly generating the power, and that's because I have the right here. Where is it? There you go. I have the solar skin, and it produces 4 power, 1 in the sun. So, for example, you can see I'm slowly producing 4 powers per second. And what was the other machine that I had on myself? The internal battery, and for that reason, I'll be able to hold up to 3,000, as you can see right there. So now I'm going to be slowly generating power, even when I'm just standing in the sun. Alternatively, I can also stand on top of one of these cyberware chargers, and that should charge me up quite quickly. There you go, it's charging me up quite fast. So it's good to have a couple of these guys handy just around your home, just so you can jump onto them, slowly charge them, and whenever you need it, because you won't need to generate every single amount of power that you use. But say that you've actually managed to get yourself quite a lot of these salvaged parts, and you want to start making your own manufactured parts because they have better tolerance costs. What do? Well, then you start making these guys, this one right here, which is the main block that you use, the cyberware engineering table. But even before that, what you can make is the cyberware scanner. Now, as you can see here, the cyberware scanner requires a salvaged CyberEye, so you need that and a diamond before you get started. So then you can just throw down the cyberware scanner, throw down a piece of paper and a machine part, and it has a 10% chance to give you the blueprint, with which you can come here into the cyberware engineering table, and you can see that I have the blueprint right there. And if you have the necessary parts, you can actually just make the CyberEye. But say for example, you don't want to wait because this takes quite a lot of time, as you can see here, 15 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's been actually going for I think at least a couple of hours now, so it has a very small chance, and I haven't really been lucky. So what you can actually do is, if you have a couple of these parts, say for example I didn't want to use this ender jammer, so I pop that right there, I hit this void warranty button, and I get these various parts. So now I can use these parts if I have the, if they're necessary to make a certain blueprint. Whoops, I nearly forgot the main point of using the engineering table, which is if you put in a piece of paper there and you have the piece that you want to break, as you can see here, it's still another piece of salvaged ender jammer. Just take that out for now, just put it right here, hit this button, and there you go. I didn't get the blueprint because there's only a 15% chance of blueprint. But let's see. Nope, didn't get a blueprint again. Let me try a couple more times. So, one for you. Well, actually, I don't think that actually has a blueprint because... Oh, it does. The HUD lenses really go out of style once you start using the CyberEyes, but they have a higher tolerance cost than the HUD lenses, but I still prefer the CyberEyes because they come with a lot cooler upgrades. So let's try one more time. So we have the piece of paper there, so I'm just going to throw in the consciousness transmitter. Come on. Oh, I think these might be full. So I'll tell you what these guys are on the right and the left just in a second. Nope, nothing again. Come on. Nothing again. Come on. Nothing again. Come on. Nope, full again. There you go, I got myself a blueprint. So like I was saying, these two panels on the side, they're not actually a part of the engineering table themselves. That is because I have a blueprint archive, which is right here, and a component box, which is right here. It actually requires any piece of machinery part which you get by using the engineering table, and if you have it anywhere beside the table, they actually come to to the side of these of the machine menu. So if I had say for example I had the engineering table right over here, and I right click, you won't have it on the side, but if I had one of these component boxes right here, there you go, it comes up on the side. Okay, I'll just destroy these, and you can actually also access this directly from here, and the blueprint archive as well, or you can actually just take it from here. And so for example, let's see, my components. Okay, here we go. So for example, let's see. Let's make myself a CyberEye. So I just put in the blueprint there. So it tells me I require 1 chrome plating. It's one of these guys, and 2 fiber optic nerves. Fiber optic nerves, or rather, this fiber optics, which there you go. That's it. I need 2 of those guys. So okay, another one as well. And 2 synthetic nerves, which are these guys, so that popped there as well. And I can just right click, or rather left click, and get myself the item. And pop the blueprint right back, and the extra part right there as well. Okay, so I showed you guys how to get the machine parts, the salvage machine parts, how to use them to actually make yourself the different machine parts, the manufactured ones. But what I haven't said is, how do I get more of the zombies to spawn? Because even though they have a small chance of spawning naturally, you actually have these little blocks that allow you to get a higher chance of them spawning. So we have 3 blocks. We have actually there is a machine you can implant directly into your brain. Looks like a little radio, so let's see, which one is it? So this cranial broadcaster right here, it requires 2 power per second in use, and it has a tolerance of 2. And it slightly increases cyber zombie spawns nearby. So what that does is it has a 5% chance to turn a zombie spawning in a 32 block radius around you into a cyber zombie. And half of that chance, so 50% of that chance, will summon a cyber zombie brute. And then slightly better than that is the radio kit, made with a couple of iron, circuitry, and a fiber optics, and you can see that these items aren't switching, so you need them exactly. And this has a chance of getting 10% spawn, so of the zombies that spawn around you in a 64 radius block, so this was 32, this is 64, 10% turn into a cyber zombie. And finally, we have the massive beacon over here, which has a chance of converting 20% of the zombies that spawn around you in a 62 times 2, which is 124 radius around you, into a cyber zombie. So that's 20%, 10%, and 5%. And to make these, it's actually very simple. You need to make yourself a couple of these radio tower constructs, specifically so 6 layers of one component centered over 4 layers of 3x3 components. So I'll just make them the one right here. Actually, if I just break one of these pieces, you'll actually see how they look. This is a multi-block structure, so there you go. So that's a 3x3 by 4, right? Yeah, 3x3 by 4. And then 6 layers of just one of them, topped off by one of these guys, the radio beacon, which is made like so. And when you actually place the final block, you should see a little pop-up if I have the HUD, which I do. Boom, you can see it in my bottom left, little radio sign, and that says 2. That just means it has a strength of 2, and it has more of a chance to spawn cyber zombies.